Welcome to this EDUbrief, Selecting Voice over IP Phones. I'm Gary Audin. There are many IP-based phones on the market, but they're not all the same. What communication system you are connecting to will drive your decision. Selecting the right phone for your environment must also deal with compatibility and interoperability. It's easy to make a mistake. All IP phones use voice over IP technologies for placing calls connected to an IP network. This could be the internet or a local area network. This is an alternative to connecting to the public switch telephone network, the PSTN. The primary difference among voice over IP phones is the signaling protocol that is used. The Session Initiation Protocol, known as SIP, is a standard that many providers and vendors support. But there are also IP phones on the market that support the standard H.323, Cisco Skinny protocol, and other proprietary protocols. IP phones and SIP phones both use voice over IP technology. IP phones can offer standard and non-standard signaling protocols, but they may not be compatible with the services such as Salesforce and Dropbox and Microsoft Office. SIP phones use the Session Initiation Protocol exclusively. SIP phones are commonly interoperable and compatible with many IP PBXs and unified communication service providers. Choosing a phone to connect to an IP network is a matter of interoperability and compatibility. When you look at the phone vendor, consider what alliance and interoperability partners they have listed. Internet telephony service providers can be a partner as well as a unified communications as a service provider. There are also legacy carriers that support IP phones. Two things that are also of concern are security and encryption used by the IP phones. You also need to consider how to manage the remote phones, especially the use of the Real-Time Control Protocol RTCP performance measuring standard. VoIP phones can be powered locally. However, it's most common that they use power over Ethernet to power the phones. The LAN provides the power source. Some of the ports on your existing LAN switch may not support power over Ethernet at all. The power consumed by phones will also vary. An important point is backing up the power for the PoE phones. You need to provide battery or generator support, otherwise when the phone goes out, your phones go out. An alternative connection approach is called long-range power over Ethernet, which can extend the distance beyond 300 feet to 1,200 feet for your IP phones. Long-range PoE can operate over legacy telephone cabling using a single pair of wires. There are three common configurations for connecting IP phones to the LAN switch. The first one is where the phone can connect to the PC, then to the LAN. But this requires dual port access on the PC, which is not preferred. The PC also has to provide the power over Ethernet to the IP phone. The second is connecting the phone directly to the LAN switch in parallel with a PC. This is the best approach. It can help you designate a separate LAN so that you don't have data interference and you can increase security. The third phone configuration is a phone with dual ports, one to connect to the PC and one port connected to the LAN switch. Ensure that this phone does not restrict your PC speed if you select it. If you're connecting to an IP PBX or unified communication provider, they will specify what phones are compatible with their IP PBX or network. You need to know who's going to be using these phones. For example, if there are a lot of incoming calls, do you need multiple line appearances? Is it going to be heavily used? Then you need a rugged and reliable device. You will probably use power over Ethernet. You have to check with your IT department to make sure that there is enough PoE ports on the LAN switches. Lastly, what protocols and codecs are supported by the service provider and PBX vendor is a matter of the selection process. You need to add the required features and functionality to the selection criteria list. If you want cordless phones, do they support the DECT 6.0 standard? Do you need a screen? If so, how big? A color, or touch sensitive? Do you want programmable keys for special functions? If this is for help desk and contact centers, are they operating hands-free? Is the contact center and help desk? Do you want a headset that can be attached to the phone? What features do you want in the conference units, extensions, cordless, and sound control? I hope this EDUbrief has helped you think through the selection of IP phones. I look forward to your viewing another EDUbrief in the future.